In this lesson, you'll learn how to use some commonly needed edit features to modify display, spacing, and capitalization issues you may encounter while editing. Here's one at the end of line 5. Mr. appears at the end of line 5, and the name which follows is at the beginning of line 6. Most reporters would prefer that the title Mr. always appear on the same line as the name that follows it. First, let's take a look at why this happens. I'm going to position the cursor on the word Mr. Then I'm going to click View, Dictionary Info, Query Real-Time Translations. This function will enable me to see how the steno that was written is defined in whatever dictionaries were used to translate the file. By the way, although the name says real-time, this function works whether or not the file was translated in real time. I can see that the steno for Mr. was defined just as Mr. In other words, it was defined just as though this title were another word. There are no instructions that tell Catalyst that Mr. should be treated differently than other words. There is a format symbol that can be added to the end of the word Mr. that will tell it to stay on the same line as the name that follows it. That format symbol is called a sticky space, and it's inserted by pressing F4K. Now, there are two ways you could use sticky space. You can position the cursor after Mr. on line 5, press F4K to insert a sticky space, and it will cause Mr. to move to the following line next to Ching. However, inserting a sticky space format symbol only fixes this one occurrence in this one file. It would be much more efficient to dedefine the steno for Mr. as Mr. followed by the sticky space format symbol. That way, no matter what name follows this steno for Mr., whether it is in this job or in any future job, the name and Mr. will always be on the same line. In other words, instead of fixing it each time it occurs in Edit, adding this format symbol to the definition ensures that I fix it once and it's fixed forever. Let's go over the steps to dedefine a sticky space with a title by dedefining the title Doctor at the end of line 7. I'll position the cursor at the beginning of Doctor, press Ctrl D to dedefine, type DR period, and then I'll press F4 and K to insert the sticky space format symbol. Now I'll press Enter. That's it. From now on, Doctor will always translate on the same line as whatever name follows it. On line 10, the sentence beginning with "Can you tell us?" is the beginning of a new thought and should begin a new paragraph. I'm going to open the vertical notes. As you can see, no steno was written to indicate a paragraph. If there had been steno to define, we could have defined it as a continuation paragraph format symbol. However, as no steno was written, this is an example of a situation where you will want to insert a correction in one spot rather than edit by defining. To insert a new paragraph, position the cursor where the new paragraph should begin, and then press F4P to insert the continuation paragraph format symbol. If and when steno is written for a new paragraph, you can define it as the continuation paragraph symbol. On line 14 is the name of a publication that should be initial capped. Once again, there are two ways to do this. You can use a command to initial cap the phrase in this one spot only, or you can define the phrase as initial capped. The cap-uncap command can be used to fix it in this one spot only. Simply mark the phrase, then press Ctrl plus F5. Pressing Ctrl plus F5 again cycles to an all-capped state, and pressing it again returns the phrase to an all-uncapped state. If you want to define a word or phrase as initial capped, then after marking it, open the Preferred Define dialog box. Next, click the Cap button or press the shortcut key Alt plus A. As you can see, the cap command in a Define, Global, or Replace dialog box copies the marked text to the new text field and initial caps it. If I click Cap again, it cycles just like the cap-uncap Ctrl plus F5 command does. I'll click OK or press Enter, and this phrase has been fixed, both in this spot here on line 14 and anywhere else the same steno was written. Next, let's take a look at the capitalization issue on line 18. The brand name iTunes appears initial capped. In Reveal Codes, it shows the word iTunes with a lowercase I. So why is the I capped in the transcript text window? Because it's the first word in the paragraph. Catalyst automatically initial caps the first word in any new paragraph. That is, unless there is a format symbol present that specifically tells Case Catalyst not to initial cap a word. The uncap next format symbol forces the next word to remain uncapped even if the word appears immediately after a paragraph format symbol or after punctuation that causes text to initial cap, such as a period, question mark, or colon. To insert the uncap next format symbol, you'll press F4, F5. As in each of the previous examples, you can either fix this in one spot by inserting the format symbol, or you can define steno with the format symbol to fix it for all future occurrences. As there are no occasions where the I in the brand name iTunes would be initial capped, and as you've got the steno here, it makes the most sense to define it. By the way, whenever you are defining text and the correct text already appears in the old text area of the dialog box, you don't have to retype that text. You can just press F6 to copy the text from the old text field to the new text field. Now, I'll add the uncap next format symbol before the word iTunes. I'll position the cursor at the beginning of iTunes and press F4, F5. I'll press Enter to complete the define, and there we go. The brand name now appears as it should. You are now familiar with some of the most common spacing and capitalization issues that can appear post-translation and how to fix them, either in one spot or by defining. To work smarter and not harder, always look for opportunities to fix something forever by defining versus fixing something for one spot only. One-spot editing should be reserved for situations where the desired steno is not present. Now, to practice, go into the training user and follow the directions for exercise number 9 in the Edit Practice document. When you're ready, proceed to the next lesson in order.